Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zia James. This is Z32 Workshop, and this sitting behind me is my 1993 Nissan 300ZX convertible parts car. Well, I don't know if I can say parts car anymore. That's the point of this whole episode, which won't probably have any time warp in it, is there aren't any parts left on the car. It's completely stripped. I got rid of everything. The only thing left now is a salvage metal from the body, which is going to take me a little bit, to be honest with you. I need to get some cutting wheels, sawzall blades, and blowtorch, maybe a plasma cutter. I don't know yet. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet. And all that I will film, I just don't have time at the moment. I need to go get stuff, and the way my work's going, it's not allowing me time to get to the hardware store to go get stuff or to order stuff online. Anyway, let's talk about this though. Let's show you this, just because, look at it. It's a fully stripped Nissan 300ZX. This is where you would put a car if you were going to basically redo it. I mean, you'd power wash this, obviously. I mean, I'm not, because it's in my garage. But if you are going to, like, here's the engine bay. If you are going to do a full restoration on a 300ZX, or like any car, you get it to where you get everything off the car. Now, the only things that are technically still left are these plastic little plugs, which I'll pop off, but I'm not going to go after them hog wild. And are these right here, which were for the wiring harnesses. They just didn't break off where I cut them off. So, I mean, this is what it looks like. I mean, this is completely stripped. This is a convertible model, mind you. So every bolt's gone, every nut. Here's the top. Here's the interior. I mean, this whole thing is gone. This is where the point you would put this on what we call a rotisserie. If you were going to basically get this whole body sandblasted to get it where it goes to being completely stripped. You strip it down to the bare metal, then you repaint it. Fix any issues you would see, which, I mean, you see all this paint's got problems with it. All that sorts of imagination, So, I mean, that's where you're at. Now, there are stuff in here that I can't get rid of. Now, like sound deadening, straps for this stuff, I mean, heat stuff, that's all there, but that's glued in, not screwed in. You'd put this on, like I said, you'd bolt this up to a rotisserie so you could rotate the whole car around. Let's take a look down here. Here's the whole backside. This car is stripped, diddly ipped for everything that I could take off it. And the next stuff I'm going to take off, which is going to be starting cutting the metal. As you can see, so this is super where it goes to be at. There ain't nothing left. It's amazing. I'm super happy that I've gotten the car this far, that it's doing this thing. And I'm going to show you, like right now, and I've probably talked about before, this is where the damage was at. As you can see, this whole front corner got crunched. That was done prior to me. That's part of the reason I can't get a license entitled. So, I mean, to me, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, that's fully stripped. That is a car that is gone. If you've seen all the videos that I created, hang on, let's see if I can get you guys so you don't fall over. Haha. I've gotten 62 videos online now for this car. And that's me telling you how to do stuff. It's more how-tos, how to do stuff. The stuff next is just going to be me slicing it, which, to be honest with you, that's won't be easy, but it's not hard. You just don't care. I mean, the only thing I'm going to save off this thing left is the front radiator core support, and I'm going to hang onto the rear fenders. I'm going to try cutting those off to use them, to hang on to, because they are straight metal, and straight metal is good metal. So I don't want to give that up, but everything else is going to La La Land. And right now the price of scrap is terrible. absolutely terrible here. So this is October 8th, 2020. Price of scrap is in the toilet right now since we're having issues with China. They ain't buying anything. So car metal prices, scrap metal prices are just in the toilet. They're not worth anything. So realistically, this whole thing ain't worth any money in scrap metal. I can't title license it, so it's not good money there. It is what it is. So, but like I said, I just wanted to take you guys a look to show where you're at. Like I said, I'm super excited. I just don't have the blades yet to cut the car yet to show you what's going on. So yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions, hit me up. I'm so happy. I've got like 83 viewers now. It's amazing. And I hope you guys are finding this stuff helpful, informative, or entertaining at that point for me and myself. So yeah, it is what it is. The only thing I do have a little remorse is reflecting back on this thing is I really wish I would have documented the engine removal in the front third here. From here forward, I wish I would have done. But I was under a time crunch because I had the transmission sold to somebody. I needed to get this project actually started, and it turned into me actually doing, because I've owned this car, I kid you not, 3 years before I started doing anything with it. My bad. Wife was not happy to get this thing out of the garage. And then it's turned into, you know what, I'm going to start doing it. And then the transmission came out. When I started taking the transmission out, I had, there's some hard lines that go along with it up front. Let's do another gentleman here in the state. He had a bad transmission in his car and needed one. So I was like, okay, I got one. Let me get it out. Just give me 2 weekends to get it out because I just didn't have a ton of time. And I about halfway through the process of transmission out, I just looked around. I was underneath the car, did one of these, looking around. I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna fight with this stuff. I need all this stuff off. Motor's coming out. You know, it was in a 30-second me doing a flashlight look around the transmission, trying to figure out how to get something off. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna yank the whole motor out. I mean, it's just easier to do it that way. And I've done it before. I mean, not on a twin turbo. So I took a lot of pictures while I was doing it, trying to document myself so I knew where things went. And because everything I took off there, I need to put in my other car, which is behind you later on. So I needed to figure out how to take everything off. And that just turned into me yanking everything out very quickly. Quickly and documenting it for myself is where I was at. I gotta say something. The temperature's back up again, and if you can't hear it, you can hear it. Dang, crickets are back. Driving me bonkers again. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I pulled the motor out, got that, looked that on over, and every time I kept on finding stuff, just very poorly stuff done in the engine bay. The one thing you can't see on this car, and it's up at top now, is, okay, like I said, NA 1993 convertible. All OEM convertibles were never twin turbo. This came with a twin turbo, which is fine. That means someone did a swap. Fantastic. You think they did it properly, or they did it, did all the stuff you should do? No, they didn't. They cut corners everywhere, and I'm not saying you should do improvements. You shouldn't. I mean, you don't have to. But you do maintenance, you do oil pan seals, you do gaskets, you do front main reel seals, you do timing kits, you check to make sure all the bolts, and I'm not joking here, all the studs are in for your turbos. That's what they did. They just stuck it in there. Stuff like that. I mean, they just didn't do anything. I'm like, why wouldn't you do any of the EGR delete? Why wouldn't you do any of these deletes? And those deletes just make your life easier. It just really was, or is. And then on top of that, and anyone who owns a twin turbo, and if you're new to 300ZXs, here's a key for you. Twin turbo car always has slits up front, especially the North American models. Now, if you have the JDM front bumper, they have a big opening. When I mean slits, they have gills that are right down here. So underneath the headlights, there will be 3 slots. I think it's 3 slats to let air into the intercooler. intercoolers. Heck, this had upgraded intercoolers, guys. This is still an intercoolers, which I'm excited about. Because that saves me money doing an upgrade that eventually I'll go get something bigger, but perfectly acceptable and not having to run stock stuff, because they're way better than stock. But they didn't have the slits, so there was no, let me repeat myself. There was no breathing of the intercoolers. No airflow across that surface to help cool down. You were essentially hot charging the engine, which is, you can do that. Guys do NA twin turbos, as in they take the twin turbo stuff, put it on the NA motor, which is 10.5 or 11 to 1 compression. I'd have to look that one up. I can't remember off the top of my head. And turbocharging it, which is fantastic. You get a nice low end throttle response out of the NA and good power because of the twin turbo. Problem is you don't run a lot of boost. That high compression stops you. You only run maybe 5-7 pounds of boost. I mean, that's max. But here's the deal. They hot charge it, but they're also running E85, which means they're flooding that cylinder down with fuel to cool it down. Because that's where E85 actually is really good at, is it compensates against fuel temperatures or cylinder temperatures. Because you're dumping so much fuel to get that same energy back out of it. So you help it cooling the charge. You weren't doing that with this. It wasn't at all. On top of that, I don't know if they removed all the boost control parts. I just don't understand. Like I said, I didn't document it for you guys. I really wish I would have, but I didn't have the GoPro yet. Would have been on my cell phone, which I think everyone would have been happy with. But yeah, that's where this project ended up at, you know? And then that's where that motor, which you guys see over there, came from. And I gotta go through, whoa, I gotta go through that motor yet to do stuff. When I mean go through it, I need to go through it like a maintenance. I'm not gonna redo I already did a cylinder pressure check. Everything came out within 5-10% of each other. They weren't as high as I like, but that motor hasn't ran in a while, so it's not great. I'll probably have to put some stuff down into the cylinders just to keep everything loose, rotate the assembly, and I still have to do that. I'll probably get something under to rotate the assembly just to keep everything looping around. Because I got a feeling this winter, that's going to be a winter project for me, which means I'm going to have to take a hiatus because it's going to get too cold here. Just as is. But I got to get everything cleaned up, get that car cut, so I can start getting stuff in here for the wintertime. My other convertible is going to get parked over where that mess is at. It just is what it is. So, oh my gosh, I've been talking for like 13 minutes now. Oh boy. So hopefully you guys are finding this informative. This is really more of a status update today because I don't have the stuff to do. But I wanted to talk to you about, showed you what the car looked like, completely stripped before I cut it, start removing metal. Like I said, I just have got to get the tools to go do it. I have Sawzall, but I don't have good blades. I got an angle grinder, but it's only like a 6-inch, and I really would need a 12-inch angle grinder to go cut through it. And I don't have a blowtorch, nor do I have a plasma cutter. Blowtorch I could borrow from a friend though. Plasma cutter, I don't. I'm probably going to end up using Sawzall blades. I might attempt a torch. If I could borrow a plasma cutter, I might. I'm not saying I will. I'll give it a try. The reason I'm not going to go with angle grinder is something, if this car was sitting outside my garage, I'd probably use a 12-inch angle grinder. But I don't, because I'm indoors and I don't want all that metal dust. I've done angle grinder before. I've done it plenty of times in here. And it does create a little dust. Now, granted, I was working on small projects. This is a big project. It would be a lot of dust. I don't want to scratch paint on my other stuff and have metal dust shavings everywhere. So, all right, this is a long video, just me chit-chatting into a camera. Hey, everybody. I love y'all. So, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up, please. Please smash and like that subscribe button. Every little bit helps me on this thing, on this journey. And I've got a playlist, so all those videos should be live and going. Yeah, I think that's about it for everybody, boys and gals. To be honest with you, I don't know when the next video will be updated because I need to get tools. So this is your warning that I can't do dailies because I don't know if I've got stuff to talk about. Well, I do, just not on that project. So Talk to you tomorrow. See you later. Bye.